Hello, this is Drew Bonifant with the Portland Press Herald. I'm with Lucas McNelly of Maine Basketball Rankings. And Lucas, we have now seen the Class B South region send boys and girls teams to the state final, as well as Class A. We'll start with Class A. It's fresh in our minds. It just happened. What were some of your takeaways from the action tonight?
I mean, we knew going in that anyone could win a South boys. It was like 7 teams could make it the whole way. And so it wasn't a shock to see the 6th seed win it in Portland. But to be as dominant as they were defensively throughout the tournament and here today was a bit of a surprise, I thought.
Yeah, and when you look at their path to this point, you know, they beat South Portland by 1 point in the quarterfinals, which granted was a 3rd seed and a higher seed than Chevrolet tonight, but they win by 18, I believe it was tonight.
Something
so
like that.
It feels like this is a team that's kind of picking up momentum and gathering steam as things go along.
Yeah, and their big guy, Lumison, whose name I've just pronounced incorrectly, didn't play that much, and he dominated the first 2 games of the tournament defensively, and they didn't even need him because Loic was fantastic, and Cordell Jones was great, and Lucas Legage found his shooting touch.
Yeah, 17 points for Lucas Legage after 3 for the first 2 games. That's a great player to have step up for you when you need it.
Yeah, that's a nice little break in case of emergency sort of situation.
And then in the girls' game, we had Chevrolet beating South Portland in a rematch of last year's Class AA final. This year it's a Class A South final. The Stags go back to the final, back to the championship game. What were some of your takeaways there?
I mean, Kylie Lamson for the last 6 quarters of this tournament has been awesome. You know, she took over in the 4th quarter against Biddeford to get that big rally. She was great here tonight. She gave Annie Whitmore all sorts of trouble, and South Portland got in foul trouble and couldn't really get going.
Yeah, Destiny Peter was in foul trouble for them. She was such a difference maker in the AA final last year and just wasn't able to give them that presence down low. I thought their defense was terrific, how they closed down on shooters. South Portland was 1 for 12 from 3-point range through 3 quarters.
You're not going to win a lot of regional finals like that.
Not going to get it done. And Lamson, kind of like we mentioned with Legage, she scored 9 points in their regular season, the last regular season game against South Portland, 19 tonight. So she makes a big difference when she needs to. That's why she's a nice Maine semifinalist.
That's why she's a semifinalist, probably going to be a finalist, and why she's the tournament MVP.
And yesterday we saw the B South action. Let's start with the girls' game, which was Oceanside beating Great New Gloucester with a record-breaking shooting performance.
Yeah, they hit 12 threes. Addie Poland and Abby Stackpole went something like 7 of 8 from 3, and when your 4th and 5th options go 7 of 8 for 3, you don't often lose those games. So, I mean, they didn't really need Ripley and Breen to do that much because they were just, everybody else was shooting lights out.
Mike Andreessen, the Great New Gloucester coach, said he didn't think anybody in the state would have beaten Oceanside that game. And I would agree with that.
I mean, they shot 63% from 3. So, how many times have you seen a team lose shooting 63% from 3?
Exactly, and I mean that Oceanside team. If there's anybody out there who thinks that they're just an Olivia Breen show, they'd be mistaken when they watch that Mariners team play. Yeah,
they've got 5 people who can burn you, and you can't leave anybody open. And if you try to double Breen, one of the other shooters will kill you.
B South boys, it was the comeback Kings Yarmouth taking down Madomic Valley to go to the state championship where they will play Gardner. Anything strike you from that game? I mean, it was a 12-point lead going in the 4th, and
that would hurt my soul as a Madomic, as a person who grew up in the Madomic program. That was not fun to see Oceanside win and then Madomic lose. But I mean, Yarmouth played awesome. They peaked at the exact right time. Adam Maxwell was great. Ian Lawrence was great, and then you know, they were just so balanced. And Madomic got down, and they didn't play great in the first half. But then Mason Wen took over in the second half. He had 30, and they nearly pulled that off.
Yeah, and that's a great point you mentioned, getting hot at the right time, which is so much of what this tournament is. It's we often see the teams that are best during the regular season go deep, but sometimes to be the team that comes out of region, things have to start breaking away, kind of like they did for Portland here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Yarmouth, they lost to Cape with like 2 weeks left in the season, and it was a terrible loss, and it maybe woke them up, and they've been playing wonderful since then, but in the tournament, you can't do that. You can do that in the regular season. You can have a bad night and have everything go wrong, and then you're going to play in 2 days. But in the tournament, if you do that, you're going home, and so a big thing is peaking at the right time, and I always like to joke that the best strategy for the tournament is to not get sick.
You know? That's absolutely true.
Don't get the flu tournament week, get it the week before. That's a lot of it.
Absolutely, you got to be firing on all cylinders on the court and off as well if you want to be the team that has a chance to play for a gold ball. And now we go to the gold ball day. We got one more left.
We got one more left. I guess they're still playing in Bangor and Portland.
Yep.
I think not Portland. This is Portland. We're so tired.
we're reaching the end of our rope, and we still have a day. We still have a week and one big day left. That'll do us for us here in Portland. We'll send it back to Dave Dyer and Mike Mandell for the rest of the tournament games.
Wow, well, we're still catching our breath here on a crazy championship Saturday at the Augusta Civic Center. Mike Mandell, Dave Dyer for Varsity Maine. We got to start, Dave, with the game we just saw between Marana-Cook and Spruce Mountain. A back-and-forth game. Marana-Cook 49-47 on a runner off the glass by Ethan Chilton, the player who's averaging 2 points a game and is known for his defensive acumen. I mean, that's just the magic of the tournament. What can you say about what we just witnessed in this building?
Well, Chilton's he's a star for the school's lacrosse team, but not exactly known for his basketball prowess. And on the play that he makes the winning basket, he might have been the last person that you expected to get the ball. Grady Reben had gotten, it was 7 3-pointers today. Jack Fontaine is always a person that you expect to have the ball in his hands in that moment, but Chilton was the one who was wide open, and I mean wide open to take that shot, and it all worked out in the end. He couldn't believe it, talking to him after the game.
Yeah. Spruce Mountain did as good a job on Gage Madsen as you could possibly do, limiting to 4 points. Their hands in the passing lanes were great. They didn't let him get the ball, and when they did, they contested shots. But as part of that effort, Reben, gets some open looks and buries them. Got them back in this game. Spruce Mountain had not won a game by fewer than 12 points in 2026. They had won 13 in a row. Not since the New Year's Eve game against Marana-Cook on this same floor had they won a game by fewer than that. Devastating loss for them.
And Spruce was leading early too.
Yeah.
But Marana-Cook never lost their composure. They just kept chipping away. And sure enough, once they started knocking down those 3 points, one by one, they came right back to tie this thing up and to bring it to that tie within the last few seconds of the game, and then Chilton's runner there to win it.
We've seen some great moments in this building. I will never forget how loud it was when that ball went off the glass through the nylon, and then Chilton goes over to the student section. You got a great video of it. What was that moment like in this building?
It was just wild, and poor Brent Remington, the athletic director for Marana-Cook, is doing his best to try to hold back the student section, and he certainly did his best, but that crowd was insane. And Spruce Mountain had a great group of fans that traveled here today too, so it was about as electric as I've seen in the Augusta Civic Center during the tournament, for sure.
Let's talk about the game you covered, the C-South girls game. Talk about a defensive masterclass by Spruce in a 51-29 win over Wells.
It's 51-29, and the big thing, as you mentioned, defense. Wells' top scorers were held in check throughout the game. Peyton Fazina was the leading scorer with 15 points, and then that was pretty much it. Megan Mertens got held to 8 points. Only scored 3 points in the first half, only scored 5 in the second. Zach King, the head coach for Spruce Mountain, said this was easily their best defensive effort all season. He says we've had dominant quarters here and there, but this was easily the most dominant defensive effort by Spruce Mountain, and it came at the best time. And not only that, but Spruce's offense went off in the fourth quarter, scoring 22 points. Maddie Grimaldi scored 11 of her 21 in the fourth period alone.
It was interesting today. We had the Valley boys and girls were here. The Mount Abram boys and girls were here, and then the Spruce boys and girls were here. So it was kind of cool seeing a collection of fans from all over those communities for seeing both their boys and girls teams.
And not only that, but it's really starting to stamp the Central Maine communities that are really thriving in basketball. Each one of those communities, both boys and girls, you can see basketball is growing, is very strong, and by the looks of some of these rosters, some of these young rosters, it'll be strong for a good few years.
All right, now let's look ahead to next week, because obviously we haven't done this since last night's game between Gardner and Coney. The Gardner boys winning, and then Lawrence girls beating Gardner. We have some interesting matchups. Gardner Yarmouth, crazy storylines there. Aaron Toman was the 2012 senior who played against guess who, Yarmouth, in the state championship game. Lawrence, Maddie Provost going up against Olivia Breen. They're the only team to beat Oceanside this season. Obviously, Oceanside got revenge in the rematch. Right. Marana Cook is going to play Fort Kent, who won on their own buzzer beater, 48-47, almost the same exact score.
Yeah.
And then Spruce plays Mackinac Cook, who's the only undefeated team in the States. What are you most looking forward to about next Friday and Saturday night?
I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to the Lawrence girls against Oceanside. Obviously, Provost versus Breen is going to be something to watch. I wrote a story about this earlier in the season, at the beginning of the season. Lawrence has been a favorite each of the last couple of years, ever since they won a state title a few years ago, and each of the last 2 seasons ended in disappointment for them. This is finally the year that they break through, get a regional title, get back to the state game. Is this the final exclamation point for Maddie Provost in her career? We already know she's going to Holy Cross for college, D1 school, and can she finally stamp home, her state title run to end her career on? And it'll be a great game either way. Obviously, Oceanside, tremendous team in the South with a very young star in Breen. It's going to be really, really interesting, and I'm sure the fans of both schools will be out in full force.
Absolutely. The tremendous fan support from Lawrence and Gardner was both evident for Friday night, and we've always known the two of the best fan bases with the best followings. No disrespect to any other Central Maine fan bases, but the folks from Gardner and Fairfield are going to turn out, so should be the same. All right, we've taken up enough of your time, folks. It's been a great weekend, and we're not done yet. We have an exciting Friday and Saturday ahead of us, so we'll see you around.